Stud Muffin, how's it going?
Yo, what's up, man? Thanks for having me. I'm ready to get this little interview done and stare at this sushi and wish I was eating it.
Of course. Hey everyone, we got a special interview today. We have Stud Muffin the Pimp on the show. Why don't you introduce yourself,
Yeah!
Stud Muffin?
What's up, guys? It's me, Muffin the Pimp. I'm Super Hunk Ladies Man and King of VRChat. I'm slowly taking over the scene. If you don't know, you better ask somebody.
No doubt that you are. One of my first questions that I did want to ask you, which I want to ask everyone this, but what initially brought you to VR? When was the moment you're like, I need a VR headset?
Okay, what made me want to do it is I tried VR way back in the day. Oh crap, I just picked up your laptop somehow from all the way over here. Did not mean to do that. Let's put that down. Sorry about that.
Keep doing the same.
Alright, I don't know how that happened. I'm gonna try not to do that again. Okay, what were we saying? Oh yeah, VR. So I remember VR like back in the day, you know what I mean? Like late 90s, like people were like, oh, super, like, oh, the year 2000 is coming, and everybody's very into like the cyber thing, and you'll see it if you look back on like movies from back then, like right before the year 2000. Everybody was like, dude, we're about to go into a new era, and you know, there's all these ideas of like what the future would be and like how everything would be like this day, like in the year 2023. Of course, the projections were all like way overblown, and we don't have flying cars like we all thought we would, and we're all very disappointed about that. But one thing we do have that we always were promised is VR, and we have that now. And I'm so pumped that I live in a time where this is available. Because I remember thinking for the longest time, like, one day this is going to be available in my home. One day we're going to put on these little things and we're going to be in the games. I never thought of like the concept at the time, way back in the day, of the concept of the internet and what that would mean for VR. Because what VR has done for the internet is taken the internet from being just like a page on a screen to now it's a place you go. It's pretty wild.
It is indeed. It is indeed pretty wild. So wow, since the 90s, like you tried VR back in the 90s?
It was one of those really big. I was little, like I was really small, so like this thing on my head felt even bigger than it actually was. But I don't know if you've seen the pictures of those old, like, I forgot what's called, like virtual velocity or something like. It was like, forgot the names of them, but they're the gigantic big plastic things you would put on your head, like old school looking VR stuff. Right. And they had it in this mall, and like you could go up and actually try VR. And, I got a chance to try it. And I played this game where you're like walking through a sewer, like shooting aliens. And like it was crazy, really simple graphics, really bad frame rates. I definitely get the motion sickness back then from playing it for a little bit, but it was enough to like make me go, oh my gosh, one day I am gonna have this. When this hits games, it's gonna be incredible. And then what made me finally like give in and actually just buy the thing, like modern day, was I was going on a trip overseas, pretty far, and I always get a little weird before I go on a long flight, especially over the ocean and stuff like that. So I'm always like, something could always go wrong. You never know. What have I not done that I would really like to experience should something go wrong? And VR was that. I was like, well, I still have yet to even like try this, and I know this is something I've always wanted, and I'd be really pissed off at myself if I died and did not do this. So I went out and got the VR thing and like set it up and was like, dude, this is better than I was even expecting. I cannot wait. I got the HTC Vive. That's what I started with. But, since then I've upgraded, as one does when they get into VRChat. It becomes a very expensive hobby, but it's well worth it. I have so much fun.
When I first discovered you, I came across your YouTube video, VRChat versus Horizon Worlds. And the first time I saw that, man, I thought that was so hilarious. I loved the character Stud Muffin, and then
awesome.
I would have never imagined that I would meet that guy that I saw on my YouTube video. I never thought I would meet him before, and I attend Fia's Film Fest, and there you are. And I was like, oh my god,
Boom!
Stud Muffin. Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
at the film festival, how was that? Seeing all these people react to your
Yeah,
musical. How was that?
that was incredible. That was such a wild experience, man. Like, I'll be honest, I've never made a movie before. Like, so I didn't know really if what I had done was really going to connect with anybody, if anybody was going to even get anything out of it, or they're just going to look at it and be like, I don't get it. What? This is a waste of my time. You know, that you don't really know what to expect. And so to have people respond to it initially was really cool. Just my audience, they loved it, and that was all I really needed. You know what I mean? I was just most of what I do is just for the people that enjoy me. I'm not, trying to go for mass appeal or anything like that. I do what I think is fun or funny, and I try to entertain the people that are there to see me. But when other people outside of my little circle started responding to it, that's when it was like, okay, wow, this people really do seem to like this. And then sitting in a theater, at Fia's film festival thing, and just being surrounded by people that are all looking at the screen and just reacting in real time and laughing and swaying to the music and doing all kinds of, I was just like, man, this is so badass. It was so cool, man. That's why I said, like, I did a video kind of like chronicling my experience of that night going through that whole thing, and at the end of that video I say, yeah, the experience, the whole thing may have happened in virtual reality, but the experience was absolutely real to me, and I mean that, because it meant a lot to me to be in there and see that, and stuff like that. That's like an opportunity I probably never get in my real life. So that's one of the things I love about VR is, like, just it opens up so many doors to just new experiences, and that's what I think is the real selling point for someone who's thinking about VR and should I get into VR, and what is VR really, like, what's the big selling point? For me, it's experiences.
Right. Yes, I totally agree. I would also agree that Fia's Film Fest, that was my favorite all time
Yeah,
experience in
that was
VR
so cool.
chat. Met so many cool people. You obviously just an amazing time.
Yeah.
Uh oh yeah, what was your inspiration to make this musical? Like, how did you come up with this idea to begin with?
um, that's a good question. I was like, I want to make something. The whole idea came from me hanging out with my buddies in VRChat, and I like to be silly, I like to be goofy, and I will sit around and think of what is the, like, goofiest thing that I can do right now, and, like, what would be a goofy project that nobody would see coming? Because I like to do that. You catch people off guard. That's when they really respond. They're like, "What is that? What is even happening?" And so for me, the most outside of my sphere of, like, expectations, what would that be? And for me, the most unexpected thing that I could think of would be what if I made Stud Muffin the Pimp the musical? Because even the title to me sounded funny. I was like, you're just repeating the word "the" twice and stuff. Like, it just sounds ridiculous. Like, so I was like, that sounds like a funny idea. And just based on the fact that it made me kind of laugh, it made me kind of giggle. I was like, okay, well, that's the one. That's the one that's sticking out. We're gonna go see where that takes us. So that's what it was.
And
And then as far as, like, the story, I don't know how I came up with the story. The story is just like trying to explain why, like, you'll see in my videos, like, I'm running around and I'm going up to people and introducing, and dudes, I'm like flexing and being alpha, and then babes, I'm like, yeah, what's up, babe? And I have to explain why that is, you know what I mean? So I gave Stud Muffin, my Stud Muffin needs a backstory. So there's a backstory. And it's supposed to kind of play into why Stud Muffin is the way he is.
yeah, I think the what really, makes your movie is the soundtrack. The soundtrack is so phenomenal. And one of my questions is,
Thank you.
like, you made all this music yourself. So, like, Did you draw any like inspirations from like any existing songs to make this, or like you just completely made it up on the spot?
Um, no, the way I came up with those songs is I like, okay, I want a song here and I want it to be about this. Boom, I write that down. And I say, okay, then it's going to move to a different part. Because basically each song kind of chronicles, points for Stud Muffin that define Stud Muffin. And so, each song, you get an idea of what needs to be said. And I would just write that on a piece of paper. And then I would pull out my DAW. I use Ableton Live to make music and stuff. So I would pull that out. And then I'd just start playing around. And like, okay, I want a song about, art school, and that was art school. It left a bad taste in my mouth. It was, I learned a lot of good stuff, but there was a lot of things happening, and I was just like, I was rebelling at the time. I was like, I gotta capture that energy. Like, how can I do that? Art school. And I put myself in that mindset, and I just start saying things, and then what came out was art school, fart school. Like, art school, fart school.
Art school.
I'm stuck in this liberal art school. Everything's political. I'm just analytical, and I need to get out of this place. And like, you're just having these thoughts and writing these little words and phrases down, and then at the same time you're trying to feel the energy of what you're saying. And so that one was like, this feels like punk. Like, this feels like da na 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 na. Like, okay, like let's do something like that. And you lay the beat down, and then you start trying to figure out how the words would go in there. And then I'm playing around with a little piano. It's just basically you let it build itself, based on just a little idea, and you just do one little. It's like bricklaying, yeah. You lay down your idea, your baseline. And then you just start putting other layers on top. Where can we go with this? And it builds itself, really.
So before you made this soundtrack, like, have you had any background in music at all? Or you just kind of like taught yourself everything at once?
I do have a background in music. Yeah, quite a bit. I'm not like I haven't been involved in anything recently, but in my past, yeah, I've done a lot of stuff with music.
It's very impressive.
And also I come.
I was gonna say, it's very impressive that you've done like everything yourself. The music, the recording, while acting. It's all very impressive to me.
It could be impressive, or it could be a sign that I'm a bit of a control freak and maybe a nightmare. I'm not sure which one it is, but I know I'm making the best of it.
Okay. Oh yeah, and another thing I want to ask. So, is this based off of your actual life, or is it just based off of Stud Muffin, the character that you have made?
What are you talking about? I am Stud Muffin.
Oh, yeah.
It's about me.
Yeah, honestly,
no, it's about me.
I don't even know what that question was.
Yeah, what was that? That was crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm sorry. Your YouTube channel. I've ever since I met you, I've been watching more of your videos, and I really like how during your videos, anytime like there's a hater, you always have something to say back and clap back. You always have a comeback. You always have something clever to say, and honestly, dude, like that's what I really love about you. And honestly, I wish I had like that confidence in me. I wish I could do that, and I'm envious of you for that.
Well, I wish I could say it was from some some amazing place where I'm just like, I'm so good at comebacks. But I basically that all really comes from. There's been times in my life where I've had to develop a sense of humor that allows me to survive with my mouth instead of, like, beating somebody up. So, if I don't want to get in a fight, sometimes it's better to make them laugh. And in that, in that mindset, you end up, it's almost like, you get really good at thinking on your feet. So, when I was younger, I'd say in, like, certain points, like I'd say at the beginning of high school, I had a bit of a rough time. I was a small kid. I didn't look my age. I looked really young, and people were just like, there's dudes like, we're gonna pick on this guy. And the only way I could get out of that situation was if I could make these guys laugh, they're not gonna want to beat me up. And next thing you know, I'm making everybody laugh. So it's like survival, if anything.
Dang, it's a survival of the fittest. I mean, that's why you had to. That's why you are the way you are.
That's one of the reasons.
So what inspired you to start doing YouTube and be a VTuber?
I don't know. I think you know I've made videos and stuff before, and it's fun, but like something about this, what I'm doing now, just felt like it felt really different, and I don't know. I felt like I needed to do this. There is an ultimate point with with what I'm doing with this whole Stub Muffin thing. You know, the Stub Muffin, the Pimp, and all this. And it's basically I want people to know that really it doesn't matter what you look or sound like. It doesn't matter, you know, any of that other stuff. It really just matters. Your personality is everything. It's who you choose to be, and you can turn yourself into anybody you want to be. You know.
That's right. You are.
Like me, I'm the king of VRChat now. I did that.
Yeah. That is true. You are the master of your own universe. So if you want to change yourself, you can. Just take some work.
Yeah. Don't let anybody tell you who you are. Define yourself.
And for one of my last questions, what's it like being a super hunky beefcake boy?
Oh, it's so great. Let me tell you, the babes, oh my goodness, they love it. Hey, I'll stop by there. Will you please hang out with me? I'm like, yeah, Bob, I'll give you some time. What's poppin'? You know what I'm saying? Go run around, pop in, do a little bit of midnight rooftop, listen to the raindrops. Very romantic.
Is there any pros, cons?
It's a very large responsibility being a super hunk ladies man beefcake boy. You see, the problem is so many women want a piece of me. Josh is insane. They will not ever be fulfilled without Stud Muffin once they have a little piece. So you know, it's very hard on me. It's a very heavy burden of responsibility that I don't go around and break hearts. I can't do it. I'm too soft, Josh.
All right, that's all the questions that I have now.
Yes.
Thank you, for letting me interview you. I really appreciate this. Help me build my channel.
Absolutely, man. I'm super happy to help you out, man.
Of course. Thank you for watching, guys. That was my interview with Stud Muffin. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know what other YouTubers y'all would like me to interview. See you guys.